What's up guys, my name is BCBus and welcome to my Nostalgia series. In this series I'll be going through RuneScape content and items I couldn't achieve and always wondered about when I was younger. Now, 15 years later, I have returned to RuneScape and have set up an account that will allow me to explore this to me unknown content. This includes completing all the quests for the quest cape, obtaining the fire cape and also obtaining my first skill cape. I also want to explore and defeat bosses such as those in the Godverse dungeon. But don't worry, there's much more. During all these new experiences, I will see if this adventure will be as great as I always hoped it would be. Enjoy! So Seren is weak to magic, and in order for me to have a chance, I have a pretty decent magic setup in which I'm going to use the Trident of the Seas. It's got a very fast attack rate, and I also have Arims, a Book of Darkness, Ring with magic bonus, so a fairly decent prayer and magic setup. So I hope that I have any chance to defeat her with my current hit points and magic level, but we'll wait and see how that's going to turn out. Let's jump into the first attempt. So I genuinely have absolutely no idea how Seren is or how tough she is, and during my first attempt I had 79 magic, and well, I really didn't count on Seren being so intense, so I put up my range prayer, which you need to have active during the whole fight, and I already had a bad start with a double hit, 6 she's hitting on me. Honestly, my inventory should be optimized a lot more. I found that through my later attempts, but she has 4 phases. She just pulled me towards her and did that magic, that melee attack. It's really dangerous. It hits a couple of times a tick, or not a couple of times a tick. It hits very quickly, like once every tick. So you're dead very quickly if you stay too close to her. I have a hard time putting any damage on her whatsoever. So this is the second phase in which she splits up. Then you have to attack the right form with the lighter shadow. See, here I stick too close to her because she teleports back to me very closely, and I stand next to her and don't realize she's gonna melee. So I'm already using a lot of brews, a lot of restores. Here it happens again. See how quickly that goes. I was trying to fix my settings because I couldn't see how much my brews were draining me, so I got that set back up, but by that time I was already very much out of the game. I realized she was going to do the heavy attack, and honestly I just panicked, and after this I realized this is not going to be great and I need to be focused a lot more, so I recollected my thoughts, went back to the GE, got a better inventory and prepared myself for a second attempt. So my second attempt went way better and I got a lot more health down. This is mainly due to the fact that I was far more used to the fight mechanics and to the rotations. But I also quickly realized that my inventory of health was probably not going to hold out, especially my restores at this point. So I'm only over half and I only have a couple of doses left. You use these a lot just because you kind of have to, as your brews drain your magic and you just need the right magic level, otherwise the DPS just not going to be nowhere near enough. So you need the Seren brews also because she does a lot of damage throughout the fight, especially with her heavy attack. And then these little fuckers come up. These are the bane of my existence, man. So they heal her super quickly, and if you try to destroy them, you come next to Seren super often, and then she starts hitting you with her melee, which is extremely deadly. So again, she's gonna hit me with the heavy attack here, and I realized that it's probably not gonna work out for me. I only have like 3 more restores, and I realized that I'm only just over halfway, so I'm gonna have to teleport out and see if I need some better inventory management or how I'm gonna solve this. So on to the next. So during my third attempt I'm way more comfortable, right? I am used to the battle mechanics fully by now, my inventory management is looking a lot better, I have a lot more restores and I have a lot more brews. But then something happens that I've been warning myself about. The third phase rolls around and the beams spawn, and because I want to get rid of the beam super quickly, I don't really focus on where my character is pathing, and before I know it I'm just right next to her. She has 2 ticks of 7 and my health was low from the previous devastating attack and I just died. Lucky enough you only have to pay 80k to get your stuff back, but I'm pretty devastated because this was a very solid attempt, so I'm just gonna go into the next one and see what happens. During my following attempt I really get pretty far. I almost get Seren to 0 health, but the problem is that I ran through my brews and I only have a couple of restores left, I decide to see how far I can get with the following rotation. And honestly, so she is about 170 lives at the start, and I just figured maybe I can out DPS her, maybe I can't. Let's just try. I don't have any brews, so I'm doing something pretty risky here if I don't want to lose another 80k. I figured that, well, it's going pretty great. She only has, well, not that much life left, but honestly, it's just not quick enough. I can't get her down quick enough before she starts healing again. I have to also face the fact that I only have like 4 or 5 hit points left, so I have to take her way out, and I have to find some way to kill her in my next attempt. So this attempt went really fluently, but that's also bad news, because look at my resources. 1 brew dose, 1 restore dose, and she's got 150 health left approximately. The problem is that I can't just not out DPS her. I lose a lot of DPS on when she splits and I have a big hit and then just goes into nothingness. Those suck, but it just really all comes together with the fact that I just can't out DPS her and the fact that I need to drink too much doses. So I currently have 79 magic. But in 80 magic I unlock a new blood spell, so I think that will help me thoroughly through the battle, because then I can heal myself throughout the battle, and I'll also be able to drink a lot less brews before that, due to that, and also drink a lot less restores due to that. So I think that's the only possible way that I can win this fight, because this current tactic is not going to work for me, which really sucks because I spent a lot of time on it. But let's get 80 magic. And after enchanting only a couple of combat bracelets, I'm going to hit 80 magic, which is gonna allow me to cast Blood Blitz. So there it is, guys, 80 magic, pretty nice, because now I can finally try to attempt Seren again with my new tactic. I hope it's gonna go well, but we'll only have to wait and see. So in the background is gonna be my complete first Blood Blitz attempt. I don't have the live commentary because I was very focused and very silent, so it wasn't really interesting, but I did want to talk over it because an absolute metric fuck ton of shit went wrong here. There is a huge difference between the Trident of the Seas and the Blood Blitz spell, because the Trident of the Seas has automatic casting, you don't have to select a spell, but the Blood Blitz spell, like all other spells, does have that. So one of the things that goes wrong for me is that I don't really realize this. So every time you drink a brew, your health goes up and your defense goes up, but all other combat spells goes down. So your attack, your strength and your magic goes down. So I can't cast a Blood Blitz spell at that point because you need 80 magic to do so. So every time I do drink a dose, I need to drink a dose of Restore 2. And then I do that sometimes, and then I go in Staff Basher because I can't cast a spell and then it automatically goes to Staff Basher. I also have Auto Retaliate on, which is a huge problem. So I go in Staff Basher, I realize this, I want to select Blood Blitz again, but I don't have the magic level, so I need to drink a Restore, but I also have to maintain my health. Then I realize that I also have Auto Retaliate on, so every time she attacks me, I run to her and I Staff Bash her, which is a huge problem, because then I come in the melee range again. So honestly, this battle went horrifically for me. I had to get used to the new way of defeating Seren, and it was completely overwhelming for me. Which is pretty interesting because I did this fight about, well, 5 times now, and it just felt like a completely new fight. After like 200, not even 200 health, I had to cancel, and like you can see it in the end, it got pretty close because she fired a heavy attack and I had hardly any health left. So if she would have hit me, I would have died, and I think I managed to get out within 1 tick. But that was pretty intense, and I hope that next attempt I can, well, just make sure that I don't make the mistakes that I made in this run. Okay, so only at 205. I could actually make it. I could actually make it. If I have a good rotation, if I have a high damage rotation this time. Just don't scam me on this phase. Nice. Big hit, very big hit, another very big hit. You know what, I actually might make it. I can definitely do. Okay, gotta stay focused. I can definitely do 108 damage. No, no splash, come on. Big hit, yes. Decent. Another decent hit. No splash, come on. Come on, no splash, come on. Yes. Yes. Don't scare me, yes. No. Yes, I did it. I fucking did it. Oh fuck. Oh, no, no, no. No, 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 no. What? What? No! Yes! I staff bashed her. That's insane. Oh my god. I'm shaking. Jesus Christ. That's fucking nuts. So, one pretty intense Seren fight later, in which I'm very happy to have survived, we decide the fate of the Elves, in which the bad guy Lord Yorwith is done away with. We talk with Arianwin, who feels very bad for what he did, and he decides to travel the world and maybe he can reconcile with himself or find this all to give a place. He's going through a pretty tough time. I am just very stoked about what's about to happen. Backstory is telling us that he's going to open the gates of Prifddinas for other races, and we are the first humans allowed to go in. I am extremely stoked because this means I'm only one quest away from my questcape, but what's more, I completed Song of the Elves and I can finally enter Prifddinas. Alright, finally, now that I've beaten Song of the Elves and I'm in Prifddinas, I can say that I am absolutely ecstatic. Honestly, I couldn't have wished for a more spectacular ending in that boss fight. The fact that I staff bashed Seren just before she started healing was just absolutely amazing. I mean, I was one take off before having to redo the entire fight. Furthermore, I think the quest itself was just awesome. I think Prifddinas is designed awesomely, the quest itself too, the two boss fights in the middle, the introduction of the Elven lords, the general lore all around is just insanely interesting to me. I think the quest was done so well, especially it's one of the first quests that has some character bonding with Elena, in which you actually see an arc which can improve and you can choose what sort of lines you say to Elena and she really responds to that, creating a relationship between you and an NPC, which is pretty unheard of in Runescape. It's great that they finally finished the quest line, but most of all I'm just so happy to be done with it. Anyway, thanks you guys so much for tuning in. I've been BCBis, and I'll see you next time.